I have the professor and the engineer with me here. You know, there's a saying that I love, that you don't know what you don't know, you don't even know that you don't know it. Well, that applies to many of you sitting there. I'm not talking about somebody else. I'm talking about you right now. That applies to many of you. And the amazing thing is, you've been told about it and you think you know about it, but you don't know. And what proves it is your actions. So let me tell you just a few things about what these two gentlemen are going to educate you on. This is a global business. It is no longer a business just within a country. And this is brilliant. It's genius. It's never been done before. It's revolutionary, and you need to understand it. I'm going to give you 5 things to look for. If you cannot explain these 5 things to yourself and someone else, you have some learning to do. 1, it allows you to expand in Europe or America or Asia without going there, and get paid there and at home. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
2, it allows you to form teams that were just friendly helping each other before. Teams now that are synergistic, that get paid working together, where you wouldn't have gotten paid before, both abroad and at home. You understand that? One team, one dream, but get paid for being one team, one dream. 3, it allows you to complete or solidify BDCs in the weak leg at home with volume and people from abroad, and actually earn at home and actually earn abroad and home twice on the same volume. Does that make any sense? Okay. 4, it combines volume between countries in a region to get paid. I'm going to tell you this right now. Everybody in your organization in America or Europe or Asia, everybody in America, okay, should be looking for people in Europe. Everybody in Europe for people in Asia, in Americas. Your whole organization looks for people, they find someone, everybody wins in the strategy, not just you. Everybody doesn't have to find somebody personally. Your whole group only has to find one. Everybody in Mexico should be looking for people in the US. There's 44 million Hispanic Americans, 50 million, 44, about 35 million of them are Mexicans. They all have family. And everybody in America or US should be looking for people in Mexico. Why? Because the volume is combined into one plan. Does that make sense? 5, it allows leaders to organize their existing team with win-win strategies and earn a second or third time on their existing organization. Wow. This is where many of you are asleep. And I need to tell you that if you're a national or above and you don't have your IRC place with a UGC strategy, you are, without a doubt, unequivocally leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table and do not even know it. You're asleep, you're missing an opportunity. Have you ever had the experience where you realize something years later and say, wow, why didn't I do that before? I wish I had done that before. That's one of them. I have with me two incredible individuals who really understand this. You know, Guido was a pharmacist and found the unfranchised and left being a pharmacist, and now I call him the engineer because he's got that type of organizational mind for detail. He's done an incredible job in Europe. And of course, we have the professor, one of the greatest teachers in the business, pure unfranchised DNA, Mr. Kevin Buckman. I want you to listen to these two guys to get it, because a lot of you heard it, but you haven't gotten it. So, engineer, professor, take it away.
All right. Okay, first thing, let me get this. Thank you. Okay, the point of this first slide is this. A lot of times we launch programs, okay? We launch programs and they come out incrementally. In other words, they don't all come out together. And a lot of time what gets lost is they're part of a bigger picture. They serve a role, okay? They're integrated, and there's continuity and alignment between them. So basically we came out with market countries, and then we came out with EMP, Emerging Market Program, and then we came out with globalshop.com. But they're not separate entities. They're all part of the big puzzle with respect to international expansion. Our globalshop.com, we've made it so that they can get Market America products or Market UK products, you know, in all areas of the world where FedEx and UPS, where they deliver. Okay, so if anybody, you can have customers anywhere in Asia Pacific, and they can order through globalshop.com, and if UPS and FedEx delivers, okay, your customer is going to get the product, and you're going to get the BV, and it's going to go into your compensation plan. Now, the thing is in respect to with Europe, they get UK products. And the reason it's UK products and not Market America products is because all the products in the UK have been cleared to go into the European Union countries, all right? Second, the EMP program is basically designed to make sure that we can go into countries where we think, you know, we might want to entertain opening up a full market, okay? But what we want to do is we want to find out, is there a demand for our product? In other words, will our product be bought? Because there's no reason going into a country if there's no demand for the product. There's nothing, if there's no market, there's nothing to sell to. Okay? And so we look at certain thresholds, all right, to see whether or not we're going to take it. You know, it's got to hit certain sales thresholds before we possibly are going to go in as a full country, okay, a full market country. But the real way to get a country to be part of a market, become a market country, boots on the ground, just like the US, just like Canada, just like Australia, just like the UK, is to have distributors in the community within the US, within Canada, within Mexico, within the UK, within that community. For example, we can't go into Nigeria. We can't go into South Africa, okay? We can't go into Nigeria, we can't go into South Africa. We can't go in just because somebody has great connections and has some good people, okay? What we need to do is we need to build, it's what I call the Taiwan Model, okay? What we need to do is we need to build within the Nigerian community in the United States, within the United Kingdom, or wherever there's a huge concentration of Nigerians. I'm just using Nigeria, by the way, as an example. Okay, but the thing is if all of a sudden we get 300, 200, 300, 400, okay, members of the Nigerian community that are unfranchised owners, they're successful, they're making $10,000 to $15,000 a month, and we've got 3, 4, 5 success stories, man, you can go in there and it will blow up just like Taiwan blowed up. Has everybody got that? That's the quickest way to get there. I say that because I'm always getting people say, well, what about this country? I got somebody here, I got you and everybody else. Okay, so the point is if you want to do it, let's get the community built inside, because then guess what? We'll create a force that, there's no stopping. All right. Next, JR pretty much covered this. This slide, the point of this slide is this. One of the problems when we go international, okay, especially not for the people that have already got 1 or 2 centers that they're being paid $2,100 or more per week on, but I'm talking about the people that haven't even gotten 1 center to 5,000 and 5,000 every week. You've got a lot of those people. But what they do is they went and they left their people in their home country, went and opened up in another country because they had some relatives, they had some people there. And the next thing you do, what you don't realize, and we talk about this on Moving Up seminars, okay? In essence, you broke one of the no-no rules. The no-no is if you're working this business part-time, you don't open up more than 2 centers. But what happens is, whether you realize it or not, even though it's the same leg, you go into a foreign country, you sponsor, you get activated to activate that 1 center, you've made a commitment to 4 organizations. So you basically are now building 4 legs. And so what happened is, in everything you do in the other leg, never did anything to feed back into the home country. They didn't benefit. So you end up doing what? You end up diluting your energies, okay? And the leverage, yeah. You understand? So what happens, what this unification does now is when you go in, for those individuals to go into that country, everything they do now within a given region will support everybody back home. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Phil. Phil's going to walk you through everything. Thank you. God bless you.
Okay. Awesome. So Kevin explained a little bit about how we've unified some of the regions around the world. I'm going to explain some of the details behind the global unification plan and how you can take advantage of it. The fact of the matter is that every single unfranchised owner in this room can take advantage of this business plan right now in a big, big way to help them build not only internationally, but right here at home. And the reality is that a lot of you are sitting back waiting. You're waiting, you're analyzing it, you're waiting for your upline leader to make a move first. You're thinking that this is something that's designed to benefit the person with the big income, the big organization, the big pin level. But everyone in this room is in the same boat when it comes to this global expansion plan. There was a time where we could only earn up to $2,100 per week, right, in our unfranchised business. And then JR had the brainchild of IBV, and today it's an accepted everyday fact. We would fight to the death if they offered to take away IBV. We depend on it now. Then he had another brainchild, global unification. The same way we resisted IBV in the beginning and we couldn't get used to it because it was something new is going on right now. But look around. Look at everybody here, even the folks in the front row. Take away the pin level. Take away the organization. Take away the income. And we're all pretty much the same, aren't we? We all have a lot of commonalities. We got 2 of everything down the sides, 1 of everything down the middle. And we all would love to have more residual income. So you can jump in and take advantage of this right away. Every one of you was awarded an international reentry, a reentry called an IRC. It's right there in your back office. You just go to your back office, My Distributorship, International, and there it is, International Reentry Center Placement. And you can place it. I wouldn't take it lightly. I would discuss some strategy with your upline leaders and others before you place it. But that being said, don't suffer from paralysis by analysis. There are folks in this room who have been talking to me for a year about where to place their IRC. They're looking for the perfect placement. There is no perfect placement. Every way you choose will have pros and cons. At some point, you need to just make a call and go with it. The game is almost over. We got 1 play left. We have to make a call. We can't sit there paralyzed. And once you make that call, you can't second guess it. So you go with it. This IRC can produce income for you in the new expanded region. So for the purpose of this discussion, we're talking about distributors who are in the Americas who are now expanding to Europe. So you can build new income in Europe, but you can also build new income for you and everyone on your team right here at home. As if that's not good enough, not only did you get awarded a free international reentry, you didn't have to earn it, it was a gift. They also opened up 2 new banks for you on each side of Euro 1, Euro 2, and Euro 3. So again, back in the beginning, we only had BV banks. We could earn $2,100 a week. JR had a brainstorm called IBV, gave us 2 more banks. Now our income potential went up to $3,600 per week. Now we had another brainchild called Global Unification. Now you can earn up to $5,100 per week because you have these UGCs, or Unified Global Centers, and it's mind-boggling. So let me explain exactly how it works. Pretty simple, and running through it quickly. You have this reentry to place. You need to discuss with your team and choose a placement. You place it. As soon as you place your International Reentry Center and qualify it once in a lifetime with a 200 BV order in home country volume, you're able to start accruing volume from that new expanded region, from Europe, and have it pay you on your reentry center and also contribute toward the accrued volumes for everyone in your organization between that reentry and you, including you, and help pay you here at home. Pretty simple. Now, once you've placed your reentry, volume grows. You earn this volume. You benefit from this volume, whether you ever travel to Europe or not, whether you ever activate your IRC or not. There's a misconception that in order for me to benefit from this global plan, I have to travel to Europe at great expense, somehow find 2 people to sponsor over there and build 2 teams. That's flawed thinking. Even if you only one time know one person over there and sponsor them and work with them, you can benefit in a big, big way. As the volume from your new person that you sponsored in the UK, here they are, maybe they sponsored one person. Here we have the situation where each of those 2 people produced 300 BV in business. That's a total of 600 BV that went up to your IRC. When it hits your IRC, it converts to your home country BV and carries up all the way, filling in to everyone's banks, to their accrued volumes, all the way up the ladder. They all earn that 600 BV. Whether they ever go to the UK or not, whether they ever go to Spain or not is immaterial. Whether they ever place their IRC or not is immaterial. They're going to benefit either way. Not only do you benefit from this accrued VV, it contributes towards the payout of your commissions right here at home. So here we have, you placed your IRC. You qualified it once in a lifetime with 200 BV. You sponsored one person in the UK or Spain. They led to someone who led to someone, and in this scenario, they apparently just sponsored 2 new people. Those 2 new people each produced 300 BV. It's a total of 600 that came up to this person, 600, 600. 600 went up to your IRC, and then it converted to your own home country volume, and it counted for this distributor right here. Again, whether or not they place their IRC or have any interest whatsoever in expanding to Europe, doesn't matter. They benefited from the added BV in their banks. So did this person. It accrued to your 03, and it hit your 01. You had 3,300 on the right. You had over 3,600 on the left. That added 600 BV from the new expanded region now kicked out a commission check for you right here at home. So people ask, how do I earn on the IRC? Very simple. It works just like any business development center. Apply, create, qualify, activate. If you want to earn on the IRC, that's another way to win. Sure, you can go ahead and sponsor one personally sponsored distributor on the left and right in the new expanded region. And once you do that, your IRC is activated and in a position to earn. So you have 2 ways to win. Now, I'm clicking my pointer. Once you activate your IRC, volume accrues. As you hit 1,200, 2,400, 3,600, 5,000 on your IRC, commission checks are earned. When you complete the pay cycle one time, you earn the right to re-enter again. You earn a second re-entry. And you can place that re-entry in any open position in your organization. We show it here on the left. You could place it under this re-entry or anywhere else in your organization. And when that one is activated and hits 5 and 5, you earn another and another and another, just like the re-entry program. UGC banks, I mentioned that you also got new banks called Unified Global Banks attached to your 1, 2, and 3 that increase your earning potential to $5,100 per week. How do they earn? Very simple. As soon as you place that IRC, as soon as you place it, those banks open. They're open and they'll begin to accrue volume in this way. As you develop new volume in the new country, the volume rolls up, rolls up, rolls up to your IRC, continues as it converts to home country volume all the way up. In this case, this 300 BV accrued up to your IRC. It converted to home country volume and added to this person's accrued totals, bringing it from 1,300 to 1,600. The next person up the ladder went from 2,900 to 3,200. Your 03 went up to 3,600. 03 is not activated yet, no commission there. When it hit Euro 1 was already at 5,000 BV. If that was the case, that new volume from the expanded region simply blends over, spills over into the UGC banks and starts filling up the UGC banks with volume. Really, really cool. Now, one point of order, really quick before we go on. In order to earn on the new volume accrued in the new expanded region, you must one time accrue to 1,200 and 1,200 in your home country volume. Now, it makes sense that if the only way the volume can get into the UGCs is if you have 5,000 and 5,000, then we assume you've already done that. But just to point that out, one time accruing to 1,200 and 1,200 in your home country puts you in a position to earn on the new country volume. Now, check this out. Here's a distributor who may or may not have had any interest in expanding to the new region. But they did have a distributor on their left and a distributor on their right who did. And they placed their IRC, and they started sponsoring. And even if none of them even activated their business, and even if this person here never even made their first move, other than to simply place their own IRC one time and qualify it, their UGC banks are open and in a position to earn on all the accrued volume from the efforts of these two distributors. So here we go. As the volume rolls up, rolls up, rolls up, it hits their banks on their 01, 02, and 03, and if they're filled with 5,000 BV, it spills over into their UGC banks and starts to compensate them without them even making their first move. It's absolutely mind-boggling. A lot of you in this room are leaving so much money on the table. It's absolutely crazy. There are people we're going to introduce you to who did nothing more than place their IRC and encourage people in their organization, if they were interested in expanding, to go ahead and do so. And I'll support you with some phone calls, and I'll use Meet On or whatever to try to support you. And they're earning new checks on their UGC hand over fist as they roll through the pay cycle. And a lot of you could be doing the same thing. All you have to do is jump in and get in the game. Now, that's a little bit of the basics. We didn't want to get too crazy and overwhelming with charts and diagrams. If you're interested in learning more, you come to the breakout that we're going to have on Sunday from 10 to 1. We're going to go through all kinds of strategies. We're going to show you what people have actually done. This is not conceptual. We're going to show you what distributors like you have done. People who are very new in the business, people who have been here for 22 years. And we're going to discuss it all. We're going to bring them in to let them tell you from their own mouth what they've done. But we want you to hear it right now. One last point before I bring them out. One thing that magically happens when this starts to take place is that not only are you building new volume to the IRC, putting that in a potential position to earn, converting to home country BV and filling up your UGC banks, earning again, you're going to find that a lot of these people in the United Kingdom and Spain, they all know people here in the United States of America. And all of a sudden, they start placing their IRCs and sponsoring here at home, producing more US distributors. That just fuels the fire. So let me bring out a few people. Kevin's going to bring them back out. We have some leaders that you'll recognize, including Bonnie Philo, with distributor Alexandra Cummings, who's part of our organization, Don Martin, Sharon Lawrence, Rick Hannon, Olivia Lee, Min Lu, and Koi Sechel.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Bonnie Philo, and here are the results. Thanks, everyone. Here are the results of Unification. I did not have a group in the UK. Alex had connections. I'm going to pass the mic to her for a couple of seconds for her to tell you what ended up happening.
Good morning. My name is Alexandra Cummings, and I have a friends in UK. So through the social media and contacts, I just decided, to contact them. And after it's NMTNS and with Bonnie Philo, we were using, ABC pattern. That's it. And working as a team.
So what basically happened is, like Alex said, she had the connections in the UK. we knew we were going to open the UK. So as soon as that happened, she reached out. She did that because she had learned how to master the basic 5 in the United States. And then she implemented the NMTSS through social media and Facebook and reached out to her friends to find out who they knew. One thing led to another, and then she partnered with me and Heather for us as a team to build it together. So for those of you, especially leaders, that are senior partners of so many hundreds and thousands of people, like JR said, you're leaving money on the table. And when I heard that I could be leaving money on the table, I partnered with Alex through Skype, through OVO, through Join.me. I have never been to the UK yet, never. I have not activated my IRC either, but through building one leg down in an ABC, we have 80 to 100 people in less than 12 months in the UK now, and we're exploding, and we're growing, and we're using the NMTSS to our advantage. So make certain that you reach out to your people. That's what I did. I went to the other side of my UGC to find out who they know in the UK, and we built it together. Thank you very, very much.
Just before we go on to Don, just to reiterate the point, again, Bonnie did not jump on a plane and spend tens of thousands of dollars to travel there to try to see what she could do. She went into her organization, she found some people interested in global expansion, she supported them from home using whatever means possible, and over time they have an incredible group in the UK with Monica and Barbara and Agnes DeSantos, and they're just growing like crazy. They have a bunch of new executive coordinators, and they did that all from home. Now that she's generating the added commissions, now she's reinvesting that in her business by traveling over there to take it to the next level. Go ahead, Don.
Don Martin from New Hope, Pennsylvania. The neatest thing about it for me was the opportunity that I saw to pioneer a new market. You know, I started, the company was 8, 9 years old, and I saw what was happening when the UK was opening, and I also saw what the leaders did that got a chance to open the Asian community countries, and they did incredibly well. The neat thing about it for me was that I watched, and it's the first time that we were building internationally beside Canada that people spoke English, which I loved. You know, I was like, yes, at least somewhat of our English, right? But nonetheless, I also had people in my group that either were from there or they had relatives that still lived there. So I knew there was an opportunity for me, so we started working on it. I also really liked the idea of being able to almost double our income on our 001 center, which was really powerful. So nonetheless, we started building over there through Skype, through connecting and power referral networking with our entire organization. We found people who had contacts. I've been over there 8 times. I went. It's a lot of fun. If you're interested in doing that, it's a great time. And the neat thing about it is I was able to start earning more on my 001 center, but also start finishing 2 other organizations all at the same time by building there. Over 60 people in the UK now. So,
yeah, just to piggyback on Don, absolutely. Don did not wait 1 second. He saw it immediately, and he took action, and he went over there. What's interesting is, as we've grown now throughout Europe, we have very defined meeting systems and training programs in London and Madrid and Barcelona and some of the big cities. As Don's group started to expand, that's not where a lot of his people are. They're way out in other cities, way out and away from London and these other big cities. And you can see that glass is half full or half empty. But this guy sees it as opportunity. He's not saying, well, I'm not going to go build there because there's no meeting system in place. He's actually working with people and finding the go-nows and the winners who are creating the system in places like Liverpool and Manchester and Birmingham and other places.
Yep, and we got 3 people here today. Rob and Andrea Thompson from the London, and also Graciana Hartley from the Manchester. So we got 3 people here today. So kudos to you guys.
Awesome.
Hi, everyone. What I did first was canvass my team to see anyone who knew anyone in the UK. And my team was not great at social media yet. They're getting better. But I used existing contacts. I reached out to them for my team. I did it myself. I used Skype. And then I got very good at Viber. I'd suggest you download that. It's V-I-B-E-R, because it's allowing free communication with Europe and us and everywhere else in the world. And using those same technologies that our other leaders were speaking about, I got to show the plan myself. I got them committed, I had them watch videos on YouTube, and then I plugged them into the existing NMTSS that is so wonderful, that is already there for you. And you don't just send them there. The same way we build here, we show that plan first. We initially get the excitement and the baseline understanding, and then we plug them in. You also have a leader in Phil who's coming there regularly that will meet with your people once you have exposed them. Don't ask him to do every single thing for you, but he will take the ball and keep it rolling for you.
Absolutely.
Do it. Add your IRC and start growing.
Excellent.
Rick Hannon, AKA Grandpa, right? Anyway, I've been blessed by God with some great organization and builders, and normally my Asian organization is strong all over the globe. But this was a particular instance that was different. Phil Guido started building in the UK. So I automatically had 2 sales organizations over there, and I looked at it, I placed my IRC, and right away my UGC started making weekly income. I didn't go there yet. I didn't know anybody. I didn't sponsor anybody. I looked up who it was. I started doing webinars and strengthening the teams. I didn't show up until early July, and I've been making checks for close to a year, and they're increasing. It's powerful. You pioneers out there, you got to look at this. You've probably got 2 legs over there. We're global now. The richest people in the world build networks. You guys got great networks in America. It's time to expand it globally, because that's where the real big money's going to be. We're not in competition with one another. We collaborate. I collaborate with your groups, with Bonnie's groups, with Paula Hockman's. We work together to make the team stronger so it's one team, one dream. Collaborate. When you do that, synergy begins. Together we start making it happen. We're not in competition with one another. We're in competition with multi-level marketing. It's us against multi-level marketing. It's one team and we collaborate. We're all going to build a powerful future and be the most powerful company on earth. But we have to collaborate and do it together. One last thing. If we take the UK on, it is the nut. If we crack the nut in the UK, all of Europe will go down. That's the truth. We'll be able to take the whole of Europe, because once the UK succeeds, they all look. Every other country in the UK, in Europe, are going to look and see if the UK can do it and they make money, we're going to make money. So let's get there, let's collaborate and make it happen. Thanks.
So we all here have been focusing on UK, which, by the way, is everything from Northern Ireland, Scotland. I have a great group in Scotland, all of England and Wales. And Olivia and her team and Lou and their team are expanding to Spain. But just to reiterate Rick's point with respect to UK specifically, I do travel there on a monthly basis, and all of our teams have worked together. We're in the homes. We do the home business presentations. We do the wellness. We do the motives presentations. We have UBPs, GPTs, ECCTs, local. We have all of that in place. You need to plug in. Now, Olivia and Coy have a special circumstance that they want to explain to you, very different than the rest. Go ahead.
Olivia Lee from Flushing, New York. Thank you. My mom, Min Liu, and I, we don't know anybody personally in Spain. However, stop thinking about who you know personally, but think about who our team knows. One person that's got connection can lead to a whole new market. So our partner Coy here started in Seattle, and she moved to market Spain, and she worked so hard through social media, stranger market. Every day she's building in the trenches. And when we saw that, there's no reason why we don't help her and work together as a team. The beautiful thing is, when we help her build market Spain, every BB comes back to the United States and helps so many people in between. And for our other partner, Lisa, she has a huge network in Spain and Europe. And when she opened the market, right now only in 4 months, they have more than 60 Chinese distributors in Spain, and these people are dying for this opportunity. They're successful business owners, they're bilingual, fluent in Spanish and Chinese, and these people can collaborate with Koi, the rest of the Spanish partners like Martin, Malola's team, and the corporate team has done everything for us. These people, they flew from Spain here. They had to change their flights 3 times and waited in the embassy for like 2 days to get their visa, but he showed up this morning. Even his son is flying over tonight. But they did not say that we are not going to be here because it's only 1 day left. They came so that they can bring the vision back to help more people, and that's powerful, guys. Woo. So my advice is don't underestimate our power. The corporate team, we got so much help from corporate team, like Dennis Frank was there, JR Lauren, everybody was there working with us in the trenches. So all we have to do is follow tight, take action, and build as a team, create global economy. We can do it. Woo!
Koi from Seattle. So when I found out that Market America was merging with Spain, I saw it as an opportunity to grow and also expand my team. Before heading over, I was barely a coordinator. And as soon as I started growing in Spain, I hit executive coordinator. At the same time, my team members in Seattle and a new team in California also grew and expanded, and they also hit new pin levels. But what I really want to point out is, just as a normal partner or a distributor in your team, don't hesitate to reach out to your senior partner, your senior leader, especially Min Liu, who I consider a great mentor and a teacher. And she's, my senior leader and a council member. And I was not afraid to reach out to her and Olivia. And they flew out to Spain along with Phil and Andrew and JR himself, and just, came out and helped me, and also provided training to the entire Spain team. And now we have our office all set up and ready to go. And recently, our website is now completely in Market Spain, and the euro is also available. So we are really, really excited. And I just ran into Malolas and Martin. I'm so happy you guys are here. And I can't continue to keep growing and hit more and more pin levels and continue to help my team.
Just one key point to make about Koi here and Olivia. There are folks here in this room who have told me, I've reached out to my upline. I've gone to my upline to see if they'll work with me with the global expansion, but they already placed their IRC on their other side of their organization. So I guess I'm out of luck. But look, use common sense. If your big income earning upline person placed their IRC on the other side of their organization from where you're placed, then their efforts in the UK and Spain are producing volume that's filling up and overflowing into the left side of their UGC bank all day long. Ipso facto, you have just created a situation that they have a very, very strong vested interest in your success over here, because by them helping you, you'll fill up the right side of their UGC. So they'll work with you and cross-pollinate with you over there. So don't discount this because your upline is working over here. Jump in the game and take off. Kevin, comments? Right. Okay, so we're going to close out by letting you know that Sunday, I mentioned, there's a global breakout, 11 a.m. to 12:45. JR will be there. Andrew will be there. Kevin will be there. I'll be there. A lot of these folks will be there. It'll be an open discussion. We're going to talk to you about all the strategies we've gone through. Here's just a snapshot of some of them, if you see them up on the slides here. We have lots of different strategies to discuss with you on how you can take advantage of this, how you can make it happen in the UK and Spain, how you can get your UK and Spain distributors cross-pollinating, zippering back to the US, sponsoring distributors back here. We hope to see you all there and see you growing and going global.